everybody. I'm going to flip the camera around. All right. Well, that didn't work. Okay, here I am. Sorry about that. So this is Genevieve White. I'm with One Drop of Oil. And I'm here tonight to talk to you just a little bit about objection handling when you're dealing with people. Welcome, Pain So Fly. All right, we got somebody on with us. Now, as many of you know, if you're following me, I'm a Young Living distributor, and I've been doing sales, outside sales, for almost 10 years now. I did inside sales before that, so I'm very familiar with sales in general and objection handling and all of that. But you know, one of the things I will say with Young Living is that I'm not trying to sell someone on my product. I'm trying to give people information. I'm trying to help inform them. I'm trying to let them understand how it can benefit them. But I really don't want to sell anybody per se. So just keep in mind that as we talk tonight, we're not talking about trying to convince someone to use a product that isn't going to benefit them, that they're not going to like, that they're not going to use, that they're not going to love. Because to be perfectly honest, if you're not going to love the oils and the products from Young Living, I really don't want you to buy a kit. I really don't want you to join my team. I would rather you go ahead and go on your merry way, and that's totally okay. We all want the right people to be part of our teams and to be using our products. So just really understand that when I'm talking about objection handling and how to do that, I'm for sure not saying I want to overcome anybody who has a real objection, I guess. So what you're going to hear a lot of is people have some preconceived notions about MLMs. They have preconceived notions about essential oils or whatever product that you might be selling or promoting to your friends and family and neighbors and the random person on the street. But a lot of times when someone has an objection, it actually is a buying signal. Because if they weren't really interested, they probably would just walk away. They'd say, no, thank you. That's what I do. If I'm not interested, I'm just like, no, thank you. I really don't want it. I don't say, oh, I just don't know if I can afford it. I don't know about this MLM thing. I'm just not sure. Be giving if I am really not interested. I'm actually going to be very, very, clear about the fact that I'm not interested at all, and I'll pretty much walk away. Now, granted, I'm a red personality or a driver, so you may not be like that, but there's a big difference between a buying signal objection, like I'm not so sure about that, to somebody who's just really not interested. So learn a little bit about personalities and colors as a recommendation I would give to you, because as you read someone's personality, you're going to understand their buying signals and their objections a little bit better. But the thing I really want to talk to you about objection handling tonight is something called feel, felt, found. Now, you may have heard about this before. It's a really common way to handle objections. And a lot of times what you're going to do is when you use this, you're going to get to the heart of the matter, because usually the first objection they give you isn't actually their objection. So, they may tell you, oh, I'm just not sure if I can afford that. But it might be actually that my husband might be flipping out if I spend that much money. So now I need to actually come up with the reasons why this is important to me, and to give him those pieces of information so that he can make the best decision as well for our family. When it comes to health especially, there is no price you'll put on it. If my daughter is in pain and is screaming and I need to take her to the ER and it's going to cost me $500, I'm going to do that. So when it comes to health and wellness, there is really no price that I'll put on it. So that's just something to think about. Okay. So anyway, feel, felt, found. If you've used this technique before, you probably have noticed that you've had some success with it. It does take some practice. I recommend finding a friend or a spouse to practice this on. I am not an expert, so So just realize that up front. But it works. So if you haven't used this, you may be thinking to yourself, feel, felt, found. I don't know what this is about. I don't know if this can work for me. Well, I understand how you're feeling. I used to feel that way too. In fact, I was afraid to use this technique. I thought maybe it's like trying to trick people into something. And so that's the feel, right? And the felt. I felt that way too. So you feel this way. I felt that way too. What I have found though is that when I use this technique, I'm able to get through the surface level objections to get to the heart of the matter, and then I can really help somebody make a decision. That's the feel, felt, found. So I don't know, is anybody listening and watching right now? Maybe we can kind of practice together. So let's say that somebody is saying, oh, you know what? I'm just not so sure about an MLM. I've heard about these pyramid schemes and they kind of seem crazy to me. I'm just not so sure about that. That's a pretty common objection. I hear that one a lot. People have a lot of misconceptions about multi-level marketing and what that actually means. Ooh, that light's horrible on me. Sorry. So how do I deal with that objection? So the feel, the felt, and the found. I understand how you feel. I used to feel that way too. I felt like MLM, it's a pyramid scheme, and people are trying to get me into something that's just crazy and isn't going to work and isn't going to help me. But what I found is that it's just a business where moms and dads and people are just sharing what they love. And instead of the grocery store or Amazon taking my money, my friend is making a little bit of money. And so, I found that actually it's a benefit to me. Why not me make the money instead of Amazon? It's better to have a small business helping me than or having my friend make money than to give it to a big box store. So, that's the feel, felt, found again. I don't know if anyone on here has any questions. I'd love to answer them or maybe help you with a question or concern. But if nobody has any, I just really recommend read a little bit about it. There's some really great websites out there about feel, felt, found. It's a really common technique that's talked about in a lot of sales companies and trainings and things of that nature. And then find a partner, find a friend, get on the phone, talk to your spouse, get in front of a mirror. Like I said, I'm not the best at it, but when you practice and then you really talk to people from your heart, you don't have to be perfect. You don't have to have the best technique. Just love people, be honest, and be respectful, and really connect with them. And you're going to find that you're going to sell a lot more because people will buy from you when they know that you care about them. So anyway, have a great night, and I will talk to you soon.